Hi guys, welcome to my very first YouTube video. My name's Angel, for those of you who don't know. And within this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how I lost 100 pounds in 9 months. This video is kind of going to be all over the place because I have so much to say and there's so much information that you guys want to know. If you actually stick around for the full video, let me know in the comments, like if you're really that interested. But I truly only wanted to make this video for the people who are reaching out to me on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you're reaching out from. I hear you and I try to reply back to all my DMs. I know it takes me quite some time because quite a few of you actually DM me, which I appreciate, and I appreciate your support because I'm like a tiny little Instagram account. But yeah, so I made this video for you guys. I'm gonna try to answer every single question that I received, but if I miss something, I, might make a second video, or I could just talk to you through DMs. So just bear with me because there were a lot of questions that were asked, and I really want to give you guys the detail that you're looking for. So here we go. I started at 260 pounds, like 255 to 260, and now I weigh around 155 to 158, depending on like when I weigh myself and like how much I ate the day before, stuff like that. So it'll fluctuate, which is completely normal. Another question that I get asked a lot is, what was my goal weight? So I am 5'4" and a half, almost 5'5". On like, the BMI type scale, I'm at a healthy weight if I'm at 149 pounds. But honestly, I've lost 100 pounds at this point, and I haven't been the weight that I'm at right now in so long. Like when I tell you I haven't been this weight since like probably grade 8, which is crazy because I'm 23 right now. I started losing weight at 22. Yeah, that's a long time. How old am I in grade 8? I think when I was in grade 9, I was like 15 or 14. Yeah, so like, I don't know, 8 to 9 years ago, I was the way I am right now, which is so crazy to me. But yeah, so technically I am supposed to be 149 pounds to be seen as healthy. So do these like next 5 to 6 pounds really matter to me that much? Honestly, no, because I feel amazing at the weight I'm at right now. I feel healthy, I have energy, I just feel like good. But anyways, the history of how I ended up getting to 255 to 260, it's like a long story. But I guess I could start out with, I was teased about my weight probably since the age of like 4 or 5 by like multiple people. Multiple people would tease me about my weight, and it's crazy to me to think about that now because it's like, if you're a grown adult or even another kid, like obviously at that age they're not really thinking about how that could affect someone, but adults teasing a child about their weight, being like, oh my gosh, you gained weight, or like, wow, like you're so chubby, like suck in your stomach, like we're taking a picture, suck in. That can really affect someone, like tremendously. And it did, clearly, because I gained weight progressively over the years. Like I gained so much weight over the years, and I guess the way that kind of stuck with me or traumatized me in a way, it showed in my body. Like I was just so affected by it, and it really stuck with me. So that's how it really started, the teasing by like adults, children, people who I thought were my friends, and I got teased like from the age of 4, honestly, until now. And it's sad that that's something that people have to get used to, getting teased for your weight, like, oh, you're so fat, or oh, now you're too skinny, or like there's always something. And so what I have to say about that is just, people will always have something to say. Always. Whether you lose 100 pounds, 10 pounds, people will always doubt you. There will always be someone to doubt you. There will always be someone to put you down. There will always be that one person that, without fail, prides themselves in trying to make you feel bad. Like they get off on that. Like they really enjoy doing that. And it's sad, but that's like the reality of the world that we live in. There is always that one person that will try to get to you. because they see that you're doing well or they see that you're winning, and they don't want to see you win. They don't. But yeah, basically, just to summarize that point, do you at all times. Always do you. Always do what you want to do because you want to do it, not because that other person told you to do it. Do it for you. Because at the end of the day, if you're not doing it for you, it's gonna show. I guess the next thing that made me, think about weight a lot, especially as a kid, was I danced from the ages of like 4 or 5 until I was 18. And it was a very big part of my life. Like, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed going to the classes. I enjoyed meeting new people, because in school, I didn't have a lot of friends. I was bullied a lot. People just didn't like me. And when I was younger, I would never stick up for myself, ever. Like, ever. If you wanted to tease me, I would sit there and I would take it. And then when I went home, I would cry. During recess, I wouldn't have friends to hang out with. I would just chill on my own. I guess that affected me at the time. Now I look back at it and I'm like, you know what, screw those little kids that didn't want to hang out with me. But yeah, so when I used to dance, I remember always getting picked on because I was always the bigger kid. Even when I was younger and I wasn't actually like that big, I was always bigger than the biggest girl in the room. Like, I can't remember a time where I wasn't, especially when I was dancing. And one thing that has always been like a memory of mine from dance is when we would all be in one of the studios and there's like mirrors all around the room, because like you're dancing, right? You have to see yourself from all angles, and all of these really like beautiful girls, but very like petite, would look in the mirror, and I vividly remember them poking at their stomachs, like trying to suck in as much as possible, like squeezing the fat on their stomach and being like, oh my gosh, like look how much fat I have, like I just ate like a sandwich. I would never say anything, but I would look at them and I would be like, if they think that they're big, I'm probably like crazy big. That's probably why they don't want to be friends with me, because I'm like so big. I remember that bothering me so much. I remember being at the dance school and I would go to the Tim Hortons that was close by. I would just order like 2 sandwiches, like 2 of the very like large sandwiches. At this point, I was maybe like anywhere from 6 to 10 years old. I would order 2 sandwiches and I would sit in one of the bathroom stalls. So how the change room worked in my dance studio, the toilets were in the change room, but like they weren't sectioned off nicely. It's like there's basically no privacy. I would get these sandwiches and I would bring them back to the dance studio and I would take them into the stall that was in the corner, and I would sit down in the stall and I would eat these sandwiches. I would feel ashamed that I wanted to eat both. I was also very sad about the fact that I felt like the body that these other girls had, like being so petite, that wasn't attainable for me. Like I could never reach that point. So I would just eat. I would eat to feel better, and that's how I started to gain a lot of weight, like a lot of weight, to the point where it just became like very unhealthy. So that was like another factor of me gaining weight. Another really big thing was diet culture. I would consistently see diet culture everywhere. I would see it in schools, I would see it at home, I would see it just everywhere. Like everyone would be talking about it. Everyone on YouTube even would be talking about like, oh my gosh, like try this diet out and lose 10 pounds in 3 days. Oh my gosh, military diet. Oh my gosh, water fast, like snake diet. The reason why I know all the names of these diets is because I have tried them. When I was at a very unhealthy point in my life, mentally and physically, I would go on these diets for like a week to 2 weeks and like basically starve myself on these diets because I wanted to be like all the other girls that I knew. I wanted to look like them. I wanted to have the petite frame, which obviously is not achievable for someone who is naturally curvier. I just wanted everything that they had. And so I would restrict myself. And that's, I guess, how I got into restricting and dealing with binging. I would restrict for like maybe 2 to 3 days, or even just a day. And then I would go on like a binging spree. I remember sitting in my kitchen or standing like in the center of my kitchen, and I would think about like all the things I wanted to eat. And then I would pull everything out. I would lay them all out like in a straight line, and I would go like one after the other. Like I'd take a bite of each thing and I'd be like, wow, this is so good. And then I would do it again and then do it again. That's how my binging always worked. Luckily, like that's not something that I struggle with anymore, but everyone, and I mean everyone, wanted to know how I got to the point that I did. And so that's why I'm sharing this with you, even though it's very personal. Probably only like 4 to 6 people know about my struggle with restricting and binging and dieting. It was just very unhealthy. It was not healthy at all. I was able to overcome it, and I was able to stop the cycle and get to the point that I'm at now. So the very last thing that brought me to the point I was at, around like 260 pounds, was I was in a very toxic relationship that ended in 2016 or 2017, I don't remember now. That triggered me to gain, I think it was like 60 pounds. When the relationship ended, I was at around 200 pounds, and then over the course of a year to 2 years, I gained 60 more pounds. Yeah, that brought me to where I was at. That brought me to 2020, the very end of January in 2020. And a lot of people ask me, like, you know, why now? Like, why did you change your ways? Why did you want to get healthy? What made you wake up, I guess? And honestly, that thing for me was when I went to the hospital. Hospitals have always freaked me out. I'm not going to get into any detail, but going to the hospital scared the crap out of me. I was very scared the entire time I was there. I was there in November of 2019, basically a year ago. I was in the ER in October or November, I think it was, of 2019. Just to give you a little backstory on why I went in because I had a possible blood clot in my lung. And so I was there for maybe like 12 hours. I arrived at like 10 p.m. and I got out at like 9 or 10 a.m. They ran a bunch of tests, and luckily I was okay. Like I didn't end up having a blood clot. But the fact that I had just turned 22 at that point and I was in the hospital for a possible blood clot, like that scared me. That was crazy to me that I had let myself get to such an unhealthy point that I had to go to the ER because of a pain in the side, on like this side of my body. I am still in disbelief like every single day that I let it get to that point. But after that hospital visit, that was truly my wake-up call. That's what woke me up. That's what made me be like, why are you here? You're here because you wanted to eat that. You wanted to do all of these things. Like, yes, like you did go through traumatic experiences, but you can get yourself out of the situation that you're in right now. You can do it. After all my hospital visits were over, so it was January 2020, they say I'm fine. Now you have to get better. Not just mentally, but physically. So 9 months later, I worked my ass off. I started going to the gym 6 times a week. I became completely plant-based, which is not something that you have to do, but it's what I preferred. I still work out 4 to 5 times a week now. Sorry, I had to move because it was getting so dark. So now we're gonna get into what I did to lose the weight. So 6 months straight, I worked out 6 to 7 times a week. My workout split was Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I did lower body, glute focused or quad focused. Tuesday, Thursday, I did upper body. Saturdays, I would do like a full body circuit. And then Sundays would be a rest day, or I would go to the gym just to do cardio. I will be going into more detail about exactly what I did. It's just that for me, I get bored doing the exact same thing all the time, so I would switch it up every week. So for me to sit here and be like, okay, do this every single leg day, do this every single like upper body day, like it just, that's not what I did. So I don't want to sit here and tell you to do that, you know what I'm saying? So I will be making other videos or posting on Instagram going into more detail about that. But in terms of workout split, that's what I did. For eating, I also ate differently every day. So it's hard to tell you exactly what I ate because it would always switch up. But I guess an example, which a lot of people asked for, I'll wake up in the morning, I would have oatmeal, so I would put frozen blueberries in that, I would put a full banana in it, I would put a scoop of vegan protein powder. The vegan protein I use, by the way, is Beam protein, which, chef's kiss, the best, and I'm not sponsored, I wish, the best vegan protein out there. Like, I promise you, you will taste it and be floored. Like, just, I don't know what they did or what they mixed together to make it taste like that. I know it's all good ingredients, but I just don't know how. Like, it tastes so freaking good. Like, I will never stray from Beam protein. Like, you can't make me. Like, you cannot make me. I won't. But yeah, so I'll put a scoop of their blueberry muffin protein powder into my oatmeal, which tastes so good. I'll put hemp hearts, maybe some chia seeds, some cinnamon, and then I'll put some oat milk on that. And that's like so good. If you like sweet stuff in the morning, highly recommend. Highly recommend. If you want something savory in the morning, my go-to, I know it's super basic, but it's 2 slices of toast with half an avocado or a full avocado, depending on how I'm feeling or how hungry I am. If I'm having avocado, I'll also have sliced veggies on the side, so like a red pepper or cucumber. I'll also have a bowl of fruit, so like an orange or an apple or just some sort of fruit that I'm feeling that morning. Or berries, I'm really into berries, so like blueberries or strawberries. For lunches, those change up all the time. But a really big thing that I eat, like literally I eat this at least 5 times a week for lunch or dinner, or both. I will put rice in it, maybe like a cup of rice, and I will put a cup of frozen broccoli, or any type of broccoli, like it could be fresh, whatever. And then I'll put 200 grams of firm tofu. Girl, when that's all cooked up, put that like thicker consistency teriyaki sauce on top of all of that, and I'm telling you, if you don't like that, that's crazy. But also, if you're not into tofu, because I know a lot of people don't like the texture or consistency of it, you know, use whatever protein you're into. If you like meat, use meat. And then put teriyaki sauce on it, because that's like, you know, that's the good stuff. For snacks, I really enjoy having just any sort of fruit, nuts. I really like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but not the regular jelly. I like blueberry jelly, thank you. If I'm working out, I always have a protein shake afterwards, so I will have Beam protein again, because Beam protein is where it's at, sis. And dude, they give you free samples too. So basically how I started out is I got a free sample thing online. Like, you pay for shipping, but like, it's what? I think it's like $10, and you get, I think, 3 or 4 servings of it. Dude, you'll fall in love. Just trust me. Like, if you don't want to trust anything else in this video, trust me on this protein. Just trust me. You will love it. Like, love. Okay? Anyways, so yeah, I will have that after a workout, a protein shake. In the protein shake, I will use oat milk and the protein and shake it up, and that's it. Or if I want it to be like super cold, I'll put it in a blender and just put in like 3 to 4 cubes of ice. Yeah. For dinners, I really like having pasta, or I'll make like pita pizzas. So like, you get like pita from the store. You put tomato sauce on it and like any kind of like veggies or whatever kind of protein. I use vegan cheese as well, and it makes it amazing. And a lot of people were also asking me, do you still eat what you want? Like, what if you're craving this? What if you're craving that? Dude, yes. I love eating what I want. If I feel like eating onion rings, you best believe I'm gonna eat the onion rings. Like, I will eat them. I might not eat the full like serving. Like, you know how if you go to like A&W, I don't know if they have it in the States. Okay, if you go to Burger King's onion rings are not it. But if you went to Burger King for their onion rings, I wouldn't eat like the full amount that they give you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll have half or like 3/4, or maybe I'll just leave 1 or 2 onion rings at the very bottom. But you get what I'm saying, right? I do it based off of how I feel. So if I'm feeling like eating the whole freaking thing that they give me, I'm gonna eat it. Like I'm just gonna eat it. Same thing goes for sweets. If I'm feeling like eating ice cream, I will walk my butt over to Rabba or a convenience store and I will buy ice cream. It's seriously all about balance. And at the very beginning, when I was starting to lose weight, I didn't understand balance. So I would go weeks. I would go weeks without eating things that I wanted. And I mean weeks, sis. Like, I would go weeks. And it was like torturous and I hated it. But I now understand what balance is and I go by that, and my weight fluctuates from 155 to 158 and I'm super happy. So now I'm gonna go through my tips for losing weight, because a lot of people were asking for tips that they could easily follow so they don't have to like uproot everything that they know. My first tip is drink water. Drink water. Drink water when you wake up. Drink water before a meal, after a meal, during a meal. Just drink water. I try to drink at least 2 to 3 liters a day. Just drink water. Okay? Here's my rule of thumb. Don't stay away from anything. Don't cut out anything. I hate when people are like, oh my gosh, you have to cut out carbs, or you have to eat less carbs. No, you don't. But what you also do not need is any, oh, flat tummy tea. Oh, don't leave me bloated tea. Oh, like, help me lose weight tea. You don't need that tea, sis. You don't need it. I have so many people that will DM me and be like, oh my gosh, like, try my tea out. It's gonna help you to lose 20 pounds. It'll help you to be less bloated every day. I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't need that tea. I could drink regular green tea and not feel bloated either. That stuff just gets me so heated. It's basically like drinking a laxative, okay? Those teas where they're like, oh my gosh, lose weight. The thing is, I've tried those teas. When I wasn't educated on what's actually in them, I tried those teas and they messed me up. Like, if you know, you know, but they messed me up and I was like, no. So you don't need those teas, okay? Don't give in to that. And also don't cut out anything if you don't want to. When people say, oh my gosh, cut out carbs, cut out meat, cut out dairy, like, you don't have to cut those things out. If they don't cause you problems for digestion and stuff like that, you don't need to cut them out. You just need to practice proper portion control. That's all you need to do. That's it. You do not need to cut anything out. Don't cut out carbs. Don't cut out meat if you don't want to. Don't cut out dairy if you don't want to. Eat based off of how your body reacts to those things. So like for me, I cut out dairy and eggs and all that kind of stuff because it would break me out. It would make me feel bloated. I'm lactose intolerant, so I just cannot handle that stuff. But also I did it for other reasons. I personally did not want to eat any animal products or dairy products, and that's my preference. And if you have a different preference, that's totally chill. Like, go based off of how you feel. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm not an expert. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. Give me some pointers for next time. Yeah, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching my video. But yeah, love you guys. Thank you for your support, really.